she said, "Oh, since it says we close at 5, we'll close at 5." Well, it was really slow, except the last fucking second, we had 3 people come in. Two of them, yeah, all of them were for here. No one was to go except Colby. Colby called in. Uh, and Colby's cool, man. We're always gonna help Colby out. So these people, 2 people, just wanted to do some drinking, and so I helped them out. I actually felt really uncomfortable in the last second because uh, they asked at like 5:20. It's like, hey, what time do you close? And I was like, it's like today. I think it's 5. And so they take a second to look at the phone, and they're like, hey, wait. So you're closed? I'm like, yeah, we're kind of closed, to be honest. And I had just served this girl a beer, and I go inside to do some other stuff, and he comes in clearly like, let's get out of here. I don't want to be an asshole. And I appreciate that. And I think he's going to clear out his tab. I mentioned that I do have a to go cup if you want to put that beer that I just poured in a cup, because I'm not going to tell anyone. And she can just drink it wherever she goes or something. And turns out she had already chugged it. She had chugged the whole thing, which I was like, oh, interesting. Um, and so when I mention I can put it in a to go cup, he eyes wide. He's like, yeah, I like that. And it took me a while for him for me to realize he wanted to buy another beer and put it in a cup and leave. And I was like, less comfortable with that. Uh, but I did it. And he mentions is like, I'm not driving, she's driving. And I was like, all right, so I can just mentally know I shouldn't do that, but also know it's probably gonna be okay, and no one's gonna get hurt, and I'm not gonna get in trouble for it. Except when they were pulling away, he drove off. So I was like, I wish I hadn't even seen that. I wish I didn't. I wasn't even aware that he lied about that. So we do some cleaning. Mario has the keys, so he can't leave until I'm finished, and I'm the one who had the customers. I couldn't do a lot of the shit I had to do. So we mopped together. We were mopping. I was like, "You can help me mop, and then let's just get out of here. I'll not waste time trying to figure out everything else I need to do. Let's just mop and get the fuck out." Because he wanted to leave, and we're mopping, and suddenly I see Mario talking to someone in the door, trying to tell him something. The guy was speaking Spanish, so I don't know what they're talking about, but Mario's looking a little confused. And I go up to figure it out. I unlock the door to let him in. He doesn't want to come inside. He's just saying, my friend wants to ask you a question. I'm like, what? And I'm at the time worried that I'm going to get in trouble for selling the beer because, like, they're undercover or something. I don't know. Well, I ask you a question. Why did you sell me that beer? Uh, why did you say you could put it in a cup? You shouldn't do that. That wasn't what it was. She wanted my number. Hey, not bad, right? Except I wasn't attracted to her. So I was almost taken aback, like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can get you my number. Almost dismissively, kind of like, I could not pretend I was interested, because I'm not really. But and then she stood there while we were mopping, kind of in the way, asking me questions about myself, trying to get to know me. And I was again answering them, trying to seem polite and uh, interested, but kind of ended up talking to the way I talk to most girls, which is as if they're a guy to try to make it feel normal. And after a while, she left. And Mario was like, hey, what the fuck? That is kind of a cool thing to happen. Someone just asks you out of nowhere. She seemed a little nervous, so that's cool. You know, I make people nervous. I don't know. Asking anyone else is kind of nerve wracking. Um, and so it took me a while, but I kind of was thinking. Remember that time you went out with that girl you never wanted to date, but you guys kind of messed around and stuff, and that was really nice, and that was a good core memory that you have. Just try doing that. Just mess around. You know, you don't have to date her because I don't think I want to, but I could try messing around. You know, I ain't going to hell to do that if I do that, right? Give me a sec. And so I got home and I was really nervous to text her back because I don't know what to text. I kind of want to text. Do you want to just hook up? You know, just. But then she'll come into work some other time, and I'll be the guy who just texted her that. So I have to do this normally, and I admitted that that made me really that I'm really nervous. I haven't dated in a while, but do you want to get drinks tonight? And I sent that message. You know, I think she messaged me back, and I still haven't read it because I'm nervous. So let's do that right now. Let's read this. She says, I have work this week, but I'm definitely down to hang out and get drinks next weekend. But how are you doing today? That's a good answer. I like that answer. I can handle that. Nice. I said, I was like, sweet, you can't hang out? Sweet, because I actually am really busy this week too. I do like the idea of spending more time texting because texting kind of figure people out better, figure out their intentions. You know, she trying to fuck.